What's up, everybody? We're back with another video, another message here. Thank you to all my new subscribers and future new subscribers. We do nothing here without God. So whatever you hear, make sure you test the spirits and take the word back to God. All right? Very, very simple intro there. Um, but I had a dream today about some interesting things that we've been talking about on this channel for a little bit. And boy, was this dream, it had a lot of pieces to it. And I had a couple of them. So I want to just jump into it, all right? So I'm going to tell y'all the dream and then give y'all a translation God gave me. So dream number one. So I was talking to people like some good friends from my old job and then strangers, like, just adults around my age, strangers, about this party coming up. And many people were kind of skeptical of going to the party, and I felt this unease in my spirit. And I remember this one girl had asked me, she was like, "Are you scared?" And then many people were asking their friends, "Are you scared?" I was like, "What the heck?" You know? So in a dream, I could tell it was one of those parties, like celebrity type parties. And that's why in my spirit, I was like, yeah, I don't want to go to that, with the knowledge I have. So in this second scene, um, it was it was me and this man, and then this girl around my age. Well, she might not have been around my age. She might have been probably a little bit older than me, but she looked younger. There we go. She appeared to be younger, and we talked about the Illuminati, like we were talking about them. And then it's like we on this outside on this road, and from a distance we see men with like red hooded clothing letting people into this underground place. And when I tell you they had the red hood, like the clothing on, the red hoods over their eyes and face and stuff. And I just seen people going down underground like they was, I don't know what was going on. But so the girl says, "Let's sneak in." And I'm like, "What?" Then me and the man like, you crazy? Like, there's no way they won't recognize us. So the girl puts on a mask and she goes over and says, "Watch this." Because she looked so young. And I do too. I didn't think about that at the time in the dream. I don't know how the man got in, but um, she puts this mask on. We watch her go get inspected by this man in a red hooded clothing. He kind of looks her up and down, and then they let her in. I don't know how she got in, but she put on this like demonic mask, and they just let her in. Um, and then somehow we all got let in, because the next scene we was all there. So it would just skip from that scene to the next. Then I heard, like, how if y'all watch uh what is it? I can't remember. I heard it was like a programmed lady's voice. Like, how they had those operators and stuff, the voices, and she was directing us to take an elevator down. It's like, take the next right to the elevator to go to the next destination. Like, that's how she said it. And as we walk to the elevator, I see this skull, like this glowing purple and green skull. And like its eyes were kind of moving and looking at us, like it was evaluating our souls. Like, that's how I felt in the dream. Like the the eyes were kind of looking into our souls. It was so weird. And so we go underground, and the next instruction was to pick a cell and wait for the first round to begin. I was like, what? So the girl picks a cell, we follow and walk in. And then as this game began to start, there were a bunch of teenagers. Literally, they all were confused. Everybody was trying to figure out what was going on. They was explaining the rules of these games. And in this game, they gave us a skull, like a similar one that looked like the one we walked past before we came down to the lower ground. And they told us in this game to choose a certain amount of people locked in certain cells to help. Okay, so basically they gave us a school. It was other kids that I'm guessing, or teenagers, I'm guessing there, that were locked up, and they had been there for a while. Um, and a lot of times when it comes to teenagers, you got to remember, a lot of times when teenagers get sent away from their home, they either don't have parents or they don't have or behavioral issues, because a lot of times that's the only reason why they would be there, you know. They don't have parents and get taken in by some random people associated with certain people, or I didn't even think about that, or they get sent away for behavior issues and stuff like that, or medical issues uh with this stuff going on. Let's see where we at. So yes, these skulls, we had to like pick certain teenagers to help. And I mean, they were begging for their life. Like if we didn't save or help them, something was gonna happen. But also a part of the game, we had to save. So this is where it describes this. We each had this that skull and had to walk around and choose who to save. In this game, we had to think outside the box. If you save the wrong teenagers, you would lose. Game over. Y'all know what that means. Game over. So me and the team I had, and we had a team of 3. There was only supposed to be a team of 2 because we snuck in trying to figure out what was going on. And we realized that the kids not fighting for their soul, like they was sitting just like they gave up. Where it was other kids, teenagers, going to the cell, and they were begging like to be saved. So the ones that didn't try to fight, clearly they didn't care no more. And that was a part of the game. That was the ones that you were supposed to help. And so the game rules, and they were the right choice. So the broken souls, compared to the ones begging at the cell, essentially were the ones that had to be saved in the game's rules. It was a scary and sick competition. So here's the Lord's translation. Okay. Underground and secrets covered underneath. That's what he's saying. Games to turn the youth on one another for entertainment, using fear as entertainment. The glowing skull represents the view from hell. You handed the teens skulls. So in the game we had to hand them the skulls. The game handed them spiritual death. They do not want them to know me. They want them to give up. Like they don't want them to know. The devil enjoys seeing teenagers broken. Um and he says about the skulls, death, so it signifies hell, death. The enemy keeps those who are broken to convert them. So people that are broken, and if you notice how people go through trauma and they just want to give up, the enemy takes advantage of them. Uh, and so then he says gets rid of the rebels and the ones ready to escape. So the people that oppose, these teenagers that oppose, he's trying to get rid of them. And he pointed me to these shows called Squid Games and Alice in Borderland, because in these shows they play games like this that's life or death. And in Alice in Borderland, it has like the little chess thing, and it's some stuff in there that's like, hold up, what the heck? Because everybody that's mainly playing these games, like it's all types of people playing, but the main characters are young, I guess young adults, very young. But God says must stop. And then he points me to Ellen, celebrities, stop them. He says it twice. Ellen, celebrities, stop them. Oh boy. That is this whole thing, we got more to go through. So then the next dream, because I woke up from that and I fell back to sleep. I was in this apartment with a friend that God has been trying to get me to communicate with. I've been having a lot of dreams about. And then there was the same man that snuck into the game, the underground place with me and a younger girl. So we talking about the party again. So it's almost like in the first dream I had the dream of talking about the party. Then we go into what happens after the party with the Illuminati stuff. And then it's like we go back. It's almost like in the dream, I don't know, it's strange. Like God was trying to warn in the dream about what would happen. It's just it was strange. But yeah, I'm with my friend and two other people, the man that was underground with me, uh, and a younger girl. So we're talking about the party again and how a massive historic snowstorm was coming. Now, this is what my friend said. He says this will change people's lives and open up doors. I was like, what? So I saw on the news that they was gearing up engineers early so they could respond to the snowstorm. That's how big this storm was supposed to be. And then I heard nobody's gonna go to that party now. That's what I heard. Nobody's gonna go to that party now. Then the man that I played that game with, in our team of three when we were trying to figure out what was going on, he said many hadn't expected or hadn't accepted him anyway. Cause he started just kind of opening up like many haven't accepted me. And he's saying like nobody wanted to be my partner because he was kind of like he felt like the third person on the team, but he was saying nobody would have wanted to be my partner had I been in that situation. And I told him, I'm like, well, I was your partner. I was. And he was like, yeah. He says, we'll see and stuff like that. But he was saying like, um, it was something about his eyes that were different. I don't know if he was blind or not, or partially blind, but his eye color blind, he has a unique color into his eyes. He was different. And yet in the game, the different was the smartest. So the girl knew something was wrong that I told y'all that wore the mask to get into that underground and disguise herself. The man was clearly different, and me having God clearly different. You know, all of us knew something was wrong. So this is what God had to say. Oh yeah. So yet the different was the smartest. Us being different to the world, we were the smartest. Um And so the Lord says, my judgment and the truth, no matter how they prepare, the storms are coming. The man was an outcast to society. He had the secrets behind his eyes. And he keeps saying this throughout different parts of the scenes of the dream. He says, he had the secrets behind his eyes. No one wanted involvement with him. You accepted him, though. So this last part, I was in a barber shop because I woke up again and fell back to sleep. I was in the barber shop and this lady was like kind of getting a little antsy because this little girl, she says, I can't braid her hair. I can't braid her hair. And I just can't braid her hair. So the lady was not wanting to braid this little girl's hair for some reason. She had the ability to. Um, but then the little girl opens up and says, these girls attack me because I have secrets behind my eyes. Want to see? It's like, you know, little kids try to do things that you can't. She was trying to like show her the secrets behind her eyes, but clearly she couldn't do it. She was young, and um. So this is the Lord's translation. The little girl was bullied by girls her age. Persecution happens at all ages. Parents do not follow my guidelines to raise up a child. The little girl has secrets behind her eyes. These children have secrets behind their eyes. Celebrities have the devil's secrets behind their eyes. Look at Nelly's eyes. And I remember seeing something about Nelly, and I'm like, whoa, there's a demon behind his eyes. So the Lord says, you have the secrets of me behind yours. You will help me halt and expose the secrets behind the eyes of the world. Tell them. So These another piece about these children have secrets behind their eyes. That also means that there's different meanings. Kids do have secrets behind their eyes, and the devil tries to make them believe that those secrets are either not real from God or not true. And so, yeah, I mean, he tries to corrupt them. And with this whole idea of Baphomet that we've been talking about, there's also now another secret that's been created behind the eyes of these children, and that's trauma. Like, I didn't think about it like that. When these kids in these underground places and kidnapped, well, not kidnapped, that not even considered missing, because that's just how it's set up a lot of the times. They're not all missing. It's like people, they don't have anybody, or the parents know what's happened. It's a lot of sick stuff going on, and the children now have the secrets of the enemy behind their eyes. And it's like, if they do get out or something's been done to them, the world doesn't believe the secrets behind their eyes. Our world is actually sick in the head. Can you believe that? But just like Nelly, a lot of people tried to say, yes, and I'm going to talk about this and show y'all as I talk about this. A lot of people tried to say Nelly was high. Not a single person I've seen being high have had this happen with their eyes behind their head like this or whatever. And then you wonder, like, what is actually wrong with people in the world? How do you not see this demonic manifestation? He has the secrets behind his eyes, and they're now coming out through his eyes. How do you not see that? And then when it comes down to it, he also had this little girl on stage. This is why he showed me. He had this little girl on stage, and I'm just like, what is wrong with people? They cheering this on, like, hey, yeah, I'm not. He's playing with this little girl's hair. He's not just singing to this little girl a certain song for children. He's singing a song of his to this girl, playing with her hair. I'm just like, this world has to, like, how do you not see this crap? And now seeing this demonic manifestation, and you will send your children on stage. People will probably still send their children on stage after this. Oh my goodness, he's famous, go up there. He couldn't have picked nobody else. He picked this little girl. Yeah, the world done lost their mind. Yup. Yep. And this is why it's just a bunch of foolish people in the world at this point, because it's not even done in secrecy no more. But peace and blessings, y'all. I had to get on here and record that dream because that was very something to me. Very, very, very off the wall. Peace and blessings.